Hey everyone, it's Derek with OPTP. Today, as part of our spring training video series, we're going to focus on building body awareness and lower body stability. Now, to help me with these exercises, I've got our Wobblesmart balance training platform and our Super Pinky Ball. Now, these exercises are going to be progressive in nature. We've got 4 of them to work through. Let's go. Okay, we're going to start with an eye tracking exercise. If you've never done this before, you might want to start just standing on solid ground on either 2 feet or on 1 foot before progressing to a balance platform. I'm going to be balancing on my Wobblesmart here. Got it set to a level 3, which is a medium level of intensity. I'm not going to crank it all the way up to the advanced level 6, and I'm also not going to back it down to the more stable number 1. Either way, whatever surface you're on, we're going to come up to a single leg balance. Now I'm going to grab my Super Pinky Ball here, which is what I'm going to use to track with my eyes. You can use any small object that you can hold out in front of your body. So from here, I'm going to bring the object out in front of my body here, and now I'm going to focus on orienting my gaze, my vision fixed on that object, okay? So now my eyes are locked on that object, I'm balancing, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let my eyes follow that object as it moves in different directions. I just like to start moving it from one side to the other. You can see right when that object started to move, how much kind of shaking and trembling started to take place on my lower extremity here. And, you know, combining this visual challenge with this balance-oriented exercise is extremely engaging for the brain. Now, you can do this exercise for 15 to 30 seconds on each side. Okay, for exercise number 2, we're going to layer another cognitive task on top of the eye tracking while balancing like we were doing before. So, and I'm going to demonstrate this one actually in a hip hinge position. So I'm going to turn to the side. Now you can also do this from an upright standing position, again with or without a balance platform. But here I'm going to get into my single leg balance. I'm going to hip hinge forward on my Wobblesmart. Now before we were eye tracking, right, which from this hip hinge position is very difficult. But now I'm going to be leaving my hands kind of underneath the shoulders here, and I'm going to take the ball and I'm going to pass it or toss it from one hand to the other. And I'm going to track that ball with my eyes while I am doing this. So again, layering these cognitive tasks, definitely increasing the difficulty here, but man, in terms of benefits, really building that balance, body awareness, and lower body stability. So just like before, we're going to do this one 15 to 25 seconds, and obviously we're going to want to make sure we do it on both sides. All right, so for exercise number 3, you will need a ball like the Super Pinky Ball because we're going to be bouncing it in a ball toss exercise. So just like before, the back and forth ball toss from right to left, but now we're going to be bouncing it back and forth, making it slightly less predictable. So single leg balance, hip hinge is where I'm going to go with this one again, but you can also do this from a upright standing position. Single leg balance, hip hinge. I'm going to take my Super Pinky Ball. I'm going to bounce it kind of towards the center, catch with the other hand, and then repeat. Again, tracking it with the eyes and balancing. This becomes a very, very mind-body oriented exercise that's challenging, fun, and very effective. So just like before, we're going to want to do this one for 15 to 25 seconds, and then of course, switch sides. Okay, for the 4th and final exercise, we're going to combine that eye tracking now with the vestibular challenge. So no ball tossing here, but now instead, we're really going to be turning the head. And this is really going to challenge balance here. So be sure, if you've never done this before, again, to try this one on a solid surface first. I'm going to turn to the side here and get into my hip hinge position. And I'm going to take whatever object of choice, in this case, of course, my Super Pinky Ball. And once I'm here and stable in my balanced position here, now I'm going to bring that ball out to the side. I'm going to let my eyes follow it as I turn my head. And this is a very intense balance challenge. Even though it might not look like it, this is extremely difficult. So I bring it down, switch hands at the bottom, and repeat to the other side, letting the eyes track, letting the head turn, really focusing on maintaining stability through the foot, ankle, knee, and hip. And this is just a great balance challenge and lower extremity challenge. So make sure you do this one again, same thing for 15 to 25 seconds, and then switch sides. All right, everyone, thanks so much for watching. If you want to learn more about the Wobblesmart balance training board or the Super Pinky Ball, just go to optp.com. Also, make sure you stay tuned throughout the remainder of the spring. We've got a bunch of great videos coming at you featuring exercises, stretches, tips, and techniques for you, your patients, and your clients. Thanks again.